Hello, everybody. Turn this on. My name is Dr. Asa Frey, and I'm new here. This is my first National Health Association lecture. This is the first lecture that I am going to do completely in English. Right? Everybody understands English, right? If you don't understand English, come right up here and sit right there. So we have a residential health and education center located in beautiful San Juan, Puerto Rico. It is Puerto Rico, it's not Puerto Rico. We recently had a hurricane, and whenever anyone hears that we're from Puerto Rico, they immediately ask how we are. We are fine. Puerto Rico is recovering. Even if there wasn't a hurricane, we would still be recovering. So things are pretty much normal. First, I want to say thank you to all of you for being here. You should give yourselves a huge round of applause. You actually made it out here, and you are privileged to be here with some of these incredible speakers. These people understand the information, use it clinically, and in their own lives. And you can tell because we're all very good-looking people. So what I'm going to talk about today, it says in your pamphlet there, the hidden benefits of fasting. In reality, this lecture should be called How Fasting Changes Who You Are. Pretty much every speaker that you've heard has mentioned something about how difficult it is to make lasting health changes. There's a million things that you need to do, but doing them is difficult. We had John McConan, is that his name? You heard his story. He mentioned that he had all the information that he needed long before he actually made any changes in his health. What did he need to do in order to make those changes and have it be sustainable? He did a fast, right? He needed to connect with himself. Oh, he's right there. He needed to connect with himself and love himself first. So we're going to talk today about how fasting changes who you are. Our clinic in San Juan, Puerto Rico is focused on chronic disease reversal. We have an outpatient center where we see outpatients, and we have a residential center where we see fasting patients. This is the only center specifically for supervising, for physician-supervised fasts in Latin America. There is no one else doing this type of work. If you truly desire to live, you will cease trying to find shortcuts and magic tricks to life and learn the simple laws of being. Reorder, realign your life with the laws of nature. Right? This is Dr. Herbert Sheldon. Everybody knows who this is, right? You guys have heard of Dr. Herbert Sheldon. What is he talking about? Well, we're going to jump right into it. Do you guys ever look like this when you're driving the car? Right, sometimes you look over at the person next to you, and that's what he looks like. You know, what is he thinking about over there? When we wake up in the morning, usually the first thing that we do is we go to the bathroom. Right? Everybody wakes up, we go to the bathroom, and then we brush our teeth. And while you're brushing your teeth, you start thinking about something. You think about what you need to do that day. I have this to do, and this to do, and this to do. Maybe you think about an annoying person that you met the day before. Maybe your colleague said something ridiculous about the President of the United States, which just so happens to be Mr. Trump, and you think, oh, he's such an unconscious person. Such an ignorant, I can't believe he said that. You know, the next time that I talk to him, I'm going to say this, and you plan out what it is you're going to say to him. Maybe you start thinking about the challenges that you're going to have to face that day, or next week, or 3 or 4 years from now. And this thinking goes on. Another thought comes, and another thought comes, and another. And finally, about 3 hours later, you step out of your car. And you slide down your rope because you parked your car in a tree. Or maybe you didn't park your car in a tree. Maybe you actually made it to wherever it is that you wanted to end up. Maybe you made it to your office. And you step out of your car and you realize that you don't remember getting there. You don't remember the drive at all. In fact, you spent 3 or 4 hours in the morning and you can't remember any of it. Did you actually brush your teeth? Did you shake your... Did I shower? Did I use soap? Did I wash the important areas? You drove down the highway for a half an hour, an hour and a half, in a huge, heavy machine going 60 to 100 miles per hour, and yet you really don't remember the drive at all. What Dr. Sheldon is talking about here are the physical laws that humans need to abide by, right? Things that we need to do. He's talking about diet and sleeping habits. But he's also talking about a state of consciousness. He's using words like being and realign. A state of consciousness that is necessary in order to make healthy decisions and to maintain health. Most humans never actually are where they are. We are in a stream of our own thinking. We have just enough presence in the present moment not to bump into furniture when we walk across the living room, right? And sometimes you bump into the furniture, right? You hit the the living room table. Ah! And you go, and then you say, what was I thinking? You certainly weren't thinking about avoiding the furniture. Are you all following me? Everybody's, yes, that's good. We have just enough presence not to run out into the highway, right? We don't run, there are speeding cars on the highway. We try to stay away from the highway. We try not to walk into people on the sidewalk. But most of our attention is up here, criticizing, complaining, having an issue with this or that, thinking about an unpleasant event or a person from yesterday or last week or 5 years ago or something your mother said to you when you were 12. Or we're worrying about the future, right? All these challenges that I need to do tomorrow. There's something, I have to do this stuff. It's going to be so difficult. Compulsive thinking. And our phones, everybody has a cell phone, right? I have a cell phone. Your phones do not improve the situation. They make it worse. Actually calling your attention away from the present moment. You know? Ring, ring, ring. That's what happens when you get an email, right? Your heart starts racing. Oh my, I have to check that. Who is that? You know, I need to respond to that. You get a text message. Somebody posts something on Facebook. Somebody just posted something on Facebook. It's Bob. Bob posted a picture of what he ate last night for dinner. That's not a vegan meal. That's full of oil and sugar and salt. This is not a healthy meal. Oh, and you have to respond to that, right? Oh, Bob, what are you thinking? You know, think of your health. Think of the children, Bob. Think of the planet. We become attached to our routines, our titles, our achievements. We carry them around with us on our backs. We identify and we place value in doing things. I'm the editor of this magazine. I'm the CEO of this company. I have 500,000 followers on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and Twitter. Now, what happens when we're unconscious, right? When we're not present? Well, we do this a lot. It's fate. Has anyone ever read Calvin and Hobbes? He's a fatalist. That means whatever happens, it's fate. What happens when we're unconscious? Well, you'll find yourself waiting in line at the movie theater. Not the line for tickets. There's a line there for tickets, but you'll find that you wait in the line for food. I wouldn't call it food. These are things that you can put in your mouth and eat. Certainly not food, but you'll find yourself waiting there in line. These are foods that we know, that everyone knows, are the worst food you could possibly put in your body. Things that we know for sure that will damage you and poison you. And yet, there is a huge line for food. My wife and I go to the movies often, probably more often than I would like to go to the movies, but I love my wife, and so I go to the movies. And we wait in the line for tickets, and we buy the tickets, and then we walk by a line, a huge line, for food. It's a huge line. And people are waiting in line, and they're all happy and waiting in line. How do you rationalize being in that line? Well, you'll say something like this. You'll say, well, you know, I was at the movie theater, and well, I was a little hungry, and I saw there was a line for food, and I didn't eat anything beforehand, and I certainly didn't prepare any food to bring with me, and so, well, you know, there was nothing really that healthy there to eat, and, well, you know, you gotta eat. I had to eat something. I had to eat something, right? Give you another example. You go over to your grandmother's house or your cousin's house or a friend's house, and you know that they're going to have very unhealthy food there. But you don't prepare any food beforehand. You don't eat before. You don't bring any food with you. And so you're there, and you'll say, well, you know, I was there, and all my family was there, and they were all eating, and I didn't want anybody to feel bad. And I felt like people were judging me, and I was kind of hungry. And there wasn't any healthy food there for me to eat. And so, well, you know, you have to eat. I had to eat something. I just had to eat something. Can you all relate with that? We start making excuses. We say, oh, it's so expensive. It's so expensive. The bananas are 69 cents a pound. I just can't afford bananas. I mean, and who can peel bananas? It'll take me all day to peel all the bananas, and I don't have time for that. Who has time to do all that? You say, oh, no, my husband, he doesn't eat a healthy diet. So how can I eat a healthy diet if he doesn't eat a healthy diet? How can I eat a healthy diet when my kids don't eat vegetables? My kids don't eat vegetables. It's too hard. So, you know, that makes it difficult for me to maintain a healthy diet. And so we build this construct, this illusion, that we are like Russell Crowe in Gladiator. Everyone knows that the movie, yes? What happens to him? It's terrible. It's awful. He loses his job. His whole family gets murdered. He gets sold into slavery, and then he has to fight to the death in the arena. And what happens at the end of the movie? That's right, he dies. He dies. And so that's the illusion that we create. Oh, it's so difficult. No one is supporting me. Everyone's against me. The whole world is against me. How could I possibly succeed? Fasting can be the door. Fasting is the door. I call it a bridge to consciousness. How can we gain back control, gain back focus, put ourselves back at the number one priority? Well, it's easy. You do a fast. And I'm going to show you how that works. The first stage is called acceptance. There are literally a million reasons to do a fast. There are a million. What do you want to do? You want to normalize your blood pressure. You want to eliminate the need for medication. You want to normalize your blood sugar levels. You want to eliminate some of your need for diabetic medication. You want to address a specific condition, a skin condition, an intestinal condition, an autoimmune disorder. You want to reboot your immune system. You want your immune system to respond normally to normal stimulus, to food, to the environment. Maybe you just want to look better. I want to look better. I want to look great. I want my skin to be brilliant. I want to have brilliant looking skin. I want to look fantastic. Maybe you want to lose weight. I want to lose some weight. I want to be able to obtain and maintain a healthy weight. Maybe you just think, I just need to rest. You know, I work so hard. I really need to rest. I need the time enough to recuperate. There are literally a million reasons to fast. I can go on and on and on and on. All you need to do is pick one, or 5, or 6. All you need is one. Everyone thinks of changing in the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. We get to, right? You don't have to do anything. You get to accept the challenge of a fast. What exactly does that mean, right? Well, there's a process that happens when we decide that we're going to do a fast. You actually have to pick up the phone and call and schedule your fast. You have to pay for the fast, right? You have to put some value behind that service. You get to sign some papers, right? There's paperwork. You have to fill out all these papers and an informed consent. You know, I agree to do this, and there are no promises, and you know, sign here and you sign there. You accept the agreement. The challenge is really this. That is the challenge. The challenge is overcoming the idea that you needed to do something in order to obtain your health goals. You needed to add something. There's some therapy, there's some type of special type of superfood, there's some special type of juice, there's a pill or potion or powder or tincture or drop that I need to, add. And this is a big challenge for most people, actually overcoming the idea that they needed to do something. When in fact, all you need to do is nothing intelligent. You need to accept yourself. You get to accept yourself. You get to give yourself the gift of rest and time enough to recuperate. You are good enough. You're all special enough. Everyone deserves to have health, right? It doesn't matter all the terrible things that you did in the past, whatever you said to your mother when you were 15. It doesn't matter. You're all deserving of health. And when we accept ourselves the way that we are, right? I am who I am, no matter what I did in the past, no matter what I'm going to do in the future, I deserve health. And this is how I'm going to get there. When you accept yourself, you end up accepting responsibility. That's huge. That you have something to do with where you are right now in your current situation. Maybe it's all because of you, but you get to accept some responsibility. I can't stress that enough. That is a huge thing to accept. That it is maybe a little bit, maybe all my fault that I'm here right now, that I have created this myself. The second phase is called surrender. To a mind that is still, the whole universe surrenders. Let me ask you this. Do we have any trained engineers here? Anybody ever work on a train, fixing things? Okay, good. Is it recommended for you to do repairs on a train whilst it is still moving? It's probably a bad idea, right? They do this in the movies, though, right? You're on the train, and somebody says, "Oh, something happened. We have to fix this thing. It's on the top of the train, and somebody has to get out there and do it, and we can't stop the train, or everybody's going to die," right? And someone will stand up and say, "Oh, yeah, I'll go up there on the train. I'll go up there and fix it." And they go up there. What's up there? Well, there's other people up there. There's other people up there, and they have guns and knives, right? There's probably a bunch of people up there. That never ends well. What you need to do, what you should do, is we actually stop the train. You stop the train, everybody gets off of the train, the conductor gets to rest, the employees are tired, they get to rest, you find the broken parts, you fix things, maybe you paint the train, you change the upholstery on the inside, maybe you clean the train. Then we get people back on the train, we get a new staff, we get a new conductor, and then the train continues, right? Brand new train. Much like what needs to happen if we wish to make lasting health changes. Things need to come to a stop. You cannot bring your life from before to a fast, no matter how hard you try and drag it with you to the fast. Your problems do not come with you, your office, your clients, your responsibilities, your kids, your wife, unless you want her to. Unless you have a really good relationship with your wife. You can bring a bag to a fast. I'm not saying you can't bring your luggage, you just can't bring your baggage. Everybody understands what I mean by your baggage. That, I'm talking about your hay. This doesn't come with you to a fast. Fasting is not a vacation. It's absolutely not a vacation. Vacations are wildly unhealthy things to do. We travel too much, we drink too much, we eat too much, we don't go to bed on time, we're taking lots of stimulants so we can enjoy our trip. We're so busy enjoying our trip, and what happens? Well, you come back from your vacation and you're sicker than when you from before you left. That happens with everyone. Fasting is a ceasing of hostilities. Everybody puts down their weapons this side, no weapons here, no hostilities here. Everybody puts down their weapons here, and everybody takes a break, and there is some, what? There's some peace. Surrendering the need to do. This is difficult. Most people come to a fast, and they have a list of things that they need to do during the fast. Oh, these are things I need to do during the fast because I didn't have time to do them in my previous life, so now that I'm taking a break from that life, I have all these things I need to do. I have this to do, and this to do, and this for my boss, and I'll do this for my kids, and I'll do this for my wife, and this one is for me. I'll do that one for me. And day 1, day 2, day 3 of the fast, I'll walk in, and they'll say, I couldn't get any work done today. I couldn't do anything. Just couldn't do it. I don't have the energy. I just don't want to do it. I don't want to do any of these things. But it's terrible. These people are counting on me. I have this list, and I have all this free time. And I want to fill up my time doing all these things. And then I'll come in on day 7 or day 10, and I'll ask them, how's that going? Are you getting any work done? And they'll say, what? You have a list. You had a list of things that you needed to do, right? You have all this time, and you needed to do this for your son and this for your boss, and they'll say, oh, no. No. That's not important. None of that is important. I don't need to do any of that. They'll be fine. They'll be fine on their own. They can take care of themselves. They don't need me to do any of that. This is my time. This is my time here. That's a very different attitude. You get to surrender your drugs, your remedies, all the things that you're using to remedy your ailments. They do not come with you to a fast. Why is that? Well, the number one reason why is that there is nothing that you can add to a fast to improve the fasting experience. Nature has so abundantly provided for us this environment, this perfect environment of health and healing, and there is nothing that you can add to it to improve it. In fact, most of the things that you want to add are going to hinder the fast. And nature does not need your puny aid. It's all there for you. But if you haven't overcome the idea that you needed to add something to your life, to your health program, then you won't realize it. You will have symptoms. Normal fasting symptoms are normal fasting symptoms. You get a headache, you have nausea, you get orthostatic hypotension, which is lightheadedness or dizziness. You don't feel well. Sometimes you feel terrible. You have back pain, neck pain, and body aches, and a rash. You have all sorts of symptoms. However, there are no remedies to use. What a concept! You actually now get to be present and experience your healing. Experience that symptom. Experience the headache. You don't get to take your remedy and bring yourself out of that moment and put you somewhere into the future when you feel better. No, you actually get to be there present while those symptoms are happening. Not only do you get to experience symptoms, but you get to experience good things. You get to experience some weight loss. Some of that fluid comes off with the natriuresis, and you start to see your feet again. Oh my gosh, my feet. Oh, what is that? Oh my gosh, I haven't seen that in forever. I can't believe that's still there. Fantastic. Your skin starts to clear up. Your joints start to move again. There's all that inflammation that comes off, and the edema, the fluid, start to feel good again. Your face starts to thin out. Actually look like a person that you used to look like maybe 10, 20, 30 years ago. Somebody you haven't seen in a while. Most of all, what I see consistently in our clinic and in our practice is that fasting teaches us presence. What does that mean? There are various times that fasting will teach this in a very gentle, forcing manner. The best example that I can give you is of orthostatic hypotension. That is where you sit up or stand up too quickly and the blood rushes from your head down, out of your head. And you get dizzy and lightheaded and you can fall. You go black and you pass out. It will happen like this. You will be sitting, you'll be lying in bed, and then you'll sit up. You'll sit up and you'll say, okay, it's time for me to go to the bathroom. And you have to plan out your journey to the bathroom. You sit up and you say, okay, well, I'm going to get up and I'm going to use this leg. I'm going to put it here. And then, then I'm going to go to the wall. And then I'll make my way to the bathroom. And you'll stand up, and for about one step, you'll think, okay, I'm doing real good. I'm doing fine. I'm going to make it to the bathroom. And by step 3, you realize that you're doing this. And you're on the floor. And you roll over on your back. And you take a deep breath in. Wow. And you start to feel better, and your vision comes back. You can finally see again. You say, wow, I can see again. This is awesome. It's nice and cool here on the floor. I like this. Maybe you hear the whirring of the fan. And you feel the breeze of the fan. Oh, fans are just incredible. Whoever invented these fans, just brilliant. Maybe you smell something. Maybe you smell somebody cooking something next door. Doctora Joanna's made, she's drying bananas. That's definitely drying bananas. That's oatmeal. She's making oatmeal with pineapple juice or granola. Maybe you see something. You look up at the ceiling and you say, oh my gosh, look at the spackle pattern on the ceiling. That's so beautiful. Must have taken them forever to do that. And then you realize that you're on the floor. You say, well, oh my gosh, I'm on the floor. How did I get here on the floor? Oh, that's right. Orthostatic hypotension. And my body knew exactly what it needed to do. It put me on the ground. It turned me over on my back. It knew exactly what I needed to do to improve and make that situation perfect. You say, wow, my body's so incredible. I can't believe it did that. With all of the terrible things that I've been doing to my body over the past 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, I am still alive. What an awesome thing my body is. It does everything perfectly. So the conversation that you start to have with yourself changes dramatically from worrying about something that happened yesterday, thinking about something that happened 10 years ago, some annoying friend of yours at work, worrying about the future, and you actually begin to focus on the present moment, which is all there is. That's where all your power is right now. Right now. Fasting also teaches presence during a refeeding process. The refeeding process is just awesome. It's awesome. Eating food again is incredible. This is my son, by the way. You actually get to decide, okay, this is what I'm going to have to eat. I think this sounds good. I think I'm going to eat this. And it is your experience. It's all your experience. At home, we have a 6-year-old child, and he has a list of things that he likes to eat. And a list of things that he doesn't like to eat, and those things change. He likes broccoli and cauliflower and asparagus and chard and kale and bok choy. Don't give him onions. If there's onions in whatever, he won't eat it. He likes chickpeas. Don't give him quinoa. But he has a list of vegetables and fruits and grains and beans that he really likes. And so we make dinner so that he has all of that stuff there. So that he has things to eat. So he is the priority. I never ask myself, oh, what sounds good for you tonight, Asa? What do you think you want to eat tonight? You know, what's going to taste good? I don't ask myself that. My dinner consists of whatever my son doesn't eat, right? He's done eating. He says, I'm done. I say, okay, what's left? Okay, I take that, put it on my plate, and I eat dinner. And he's done with dinner, and he'll leave. And inevitably, he's going to come back to the table. And what's he going to need? No, he's going to need help. He needs me for something. Oh, Dad, I'm doing this thing in my room. I'm building this big tower, and I'm taking all my Legos and putting them on. You know, it's really awesome, but I'm too short, and I need you. Come. And I say, sure. Well, you know, I'm eating dinner. It's my dinner time. And he'll say, yeah, but that's not that important. I mean, you can eat later. This is important, though. You need to come. It's just going to take, it won't take long at all. Just come. And usually, I say, fine. Right? push my plate aside, I relegate myself, I neglect my dinner for a little bit until I have peace enough to eat, and I go and take care of my number one priority. But during your refeeding process after a fast, there is none of that. You actually get to experience eating food again. Oh my gosh, that's what a mango tastes like? That is incredible. Tomatoes are actually sweet and salty. I can eat these every day. Oh, celery. Celery is crunchy. I never knew that before. Crunchy is like another taste sensation. You start to notice things that were always there, but you were never really present enough to notice them. For instance, I just ate some watermelon and celery, and you know what? I'm full and I feel great. I'm satisfied and I don't need to eat any more food. Maybe I don't actually need that much food. Maybe I can make small, simple meals. Maybe this is not that difficult, right? You learn these new skills. I don't have to complicate my life. I can make small, simple meals. I can prepare my food. I can eat before I go to the social gathering. This is not that difficult. This is actually pretty easy. And you get this feeling, this overwhelming feeling that you can do it. I don't need my husband to eat his vegetables. I don't need my husband to change his diet at all. I don't need anyone in my family to change their diet at all. I just need to change my diet. I'm doing it right now, and it's easy. It's really easy. And you learn what it is that you need to do when you screw it up. Everyone screws up sometimes, but you know what you need to do. And you can always come back and do a fast and start over again and keep on learning and keep on mastering your skills. That's how I look when I eat asparagus. And that's what you'll look like when you eat asparagus after a fast. Even if you don't like asparagus now. So what do we gain from presence through a fast? Well, the number one thing that you gain is consciousness. Actually being present for the immediate situation. What does that mean? Well, that means that you'll find yourself, or you'll catch yourself waiting in line at the movie theater in the line that is not the line for tickets. And you'll say, oh my gosh, this is not the line for tickets, so I'll get out of this line. I need to go over to this line over here. That line over there, I don't know what that's for, but that's not my line. You will be in the grocery store buying something that you would normally just pick up and put in your cart and go and check out and buy. However, this time, you'll have the consciousness, the presence of mind, to flip over the box and look at the ingredients. And you'll say, sugar, oil, salt, flour, okay. And you put the box back. And then you go and look for something that is better than that. Something that you would normally just do unconsciously. Now you're actually paying attention. Priorities. Your priorities change. As you were not the priority before, as your health was not a priority, now it actually is a priority. You become the number one priority. You cannot take care of anyone else unless you are well yourself. It doesn't work. You actually are the priority. You are the number one priority, then your child and wife, and then your family, and then your community. But now you understand that you come first. Things that were not clear before suddenly become clear. The things that are most important actually become clear. What is it that you want your health to look like? What is it that you want your life to look like? How do you want to feel? What do you want more of in your life? That's what clarity is. And now that we have clarity and presence of mind, you can now start focusing on those things. You can actually start focusing on things that you desire more of in your life and less on things that you don't want in your life. Things that damage you. Things that make your life more complicated and more stressful. And with all of these, you get a sense of ease, right? It's really not that difficult. Life should be easy. Life is easy. It's an adventure. That's where the joy and happiness and peace are found. It's found in the adventure, not at the finish line. It's found in the process. And you know what? It should be easy. It's supposed to be easy. And if it's not easy, you're doing something wrong. Or your focus is in the wrong area. With all of these together, we get a feeling of peace. Now, what is peace, actually? It's really just an overwhelming feeling that everything is okay, that everything is fine, and that everything is going to be fine. Everything's going to be just fine. You will spend more time focusing on the things that you actually desire more of in your life, and less time in an unconscious state of mind, just reacting to what life presents to you. Only during a fast can you truly learn what it means to listen to your body, because you actually took the time to be present for the healing process. And from that brief moment of presence during a fast, you will learn that there is nothing more powerful than the present moment. In my experience, I have seen consistently during a fast, not only sick people get well, right? That's great. We'd love to see that. Not only sick people get well, but mean people turn nice, the corrupt turn honorable, the selfish gain empathy, the self-deprecating gain self-respect, the weak strengthened, the helpless empowered, and the lost gain clarity, and all by doing nothing intelligently. Thank you guys very much. My name is Dr. Asa Frey with Clinica Back to the Garden. You guys have been great.